Whether you're just getting started in your security and IT career, or if you've been doing this quite a long time, one of the things that you're going to be able to need to do, and you may already be doing this, is you're going to be able to need to manage remote machines. And here's what I mean by that. From my laptop, I want to be able to connect to a remote computer, and it doesn't matter whether it's Linux or Windows, they both have this similar capability. I want to connect to that remote machine and execute commands on that remote machine to do things with that remote machine. Now, this may not have anything to do with cryptography per se that you're doing on the remote machine. Could be ordinary management or configuration tasks. The key here, though, is I need to do it securely. I don't want a man-in-the-middle attack, somebody sniffing what commands I'm running on that remote machine. One of the ways we can do this on Linux-based systems, and also you can use the same thing on Windows as well, is SSH or Secure Shell. And here's what that is. This is a program basically that provides secure remote command execution and file transfers from your machine to a remote machine. And in an example here, I have Bash up, and this is a Linux-based box, and you can tell if you're looking at the screen, it happens to be my Mac. And what you do, the basic usage of the command, you can do man, M-A-N, SSH, to see more about this, but you SSH and you give it that remote machine, what on that machine is your username at that machine name. And it'll prompt you for a password, and then you have access to the machine. I ran an ls command, and that command is running on that remote machine. And it's done securely. We have secured protocols for SSH to make sure that nobody is sniffing in the middle. Now, this is a replacement to older utilities. You may hear people talk about using Telnet and some other rlogin and the other older utilities that they would use, and this replaces it. It's a very common way to both manage remote machines and access remote machines for a variety of reasons. In fact, one of the most common things you'll hear from both Linux guys and Unix guys are, I need to, let's SSH to that box and do something to it. Now, one of the things is while you can get programs that offer SSH capabilities on Windows, Windows has its own built-in management tools called PowerShell. And PowerShell has part of it is called PowerShell remoting. And that's similar to SSH. It works a little bit differently, but it gives you the same kind of concept where if you see here, I'm entering enter PS session to a computer name. I can send different credentials for authentication if I want, or it's going to use the credentials I currently have on my machine, and it'll connect me to that remote machine. I can now execute commands on that remote machine to manage whatever I do. The important part to this is that you will be working in some sort of shell, whether it be a Bash-based shell or something like that, or Windows PowerShell, and you're going to need to be able to connect remotely. The importance is that it's done securely so that nobody can sniff what you're doing and what things that you're executing. That's what SSH does primarily on Linux, and PowerShell remoting does on Windows.